Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Black Wood Decor. It's a little chilly in the shop here, but I want to call these like the debrief. So we're going to debrief on the end table that we made, and if you haven't checked that video out, I'll link it in the description over here, over there. Go watch that one first, because this is where I want to just sit down and have a conversation about the build. This was my first time building this as well, and I want to talk about the things that I learned, the things that we learned by building it, and the design and how we can be better and use those skills that we learned in future projects. So the end table. Realistically, how much wood did it take to build this end table? Because I built mine out of just scrap lumber that I had laying around, but I went to the hardware store, the big box store, and I found a 1" by 6" by 8-foot long board. And I did some mathematical calculations, and you could build this entire piece out of one 8-foot board. Whatever thickness you want. We did ours out of 3/4. The one that I found at the store was 1". But the way that you would do that is my handy dandy little drawing here. You've got your 8-foot board. Bruce, come on, buddy. Bruce wants to be on the, come on, Bruce. You want to be on here? Say hi. Say hi to the people, Bruce. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my good boy. Okay, we got to get back to the debrief, okay? Go on. So, you've got your 8-foot board, and we've got our 3 leg pieces that we cut out, and we were cutting those to 20 inches, and then we were refining that later down to the 19. So 20, 40, 60 inches, and we still have 36 inches left on that 8-foot board, so that 36 inches could get cut in half, which is 18. Those two 18-inch boards can be glued together, so we would have a 12-inch span here. And then on one of our legs, when we cut out that round part, we could use that waste material to put on either side, and that's going to make up our other 4 inches for our 16-inch round tabletop. You could do this whole project, this entire thing, out of one 8-foot board, which I think is pretty awesome. So a design aspect of this is it only had 3 legs. I don't know about you, but there is nothing that grinds my gears more than when I go to a restaurant and I sit down and that table rocks back and forth, and your drinks slosh all over the place. Utilizing 3 legs on a piece, it'll never rock. It's only got 3 points of contact on the ground. It will never wobble back and forth. So as a beginner project, I think that incorporating 3 legs is a great way to do it. And we didn't attach those legs with pocket holes or screws. We used mortise and tenon joinery. Now, I see a lot in my YouTube feed of building things out of 2x4s, and that's great. That's a great place to start, and I recommend you get that practice in. But there's a certain point where you got to start pulling yourself out of your comfort zone and trying new things and different things. And I think that this project was the perfect one to pull yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit and do mortise and tenon joinery. And we only utilized one tool to do that, which was the router. And we cleaned it up a little bit with a chisel and a handsaw. But for the most part, you did joinery with just basically 2 tools, which I think is really, really cool. And if you've never looked up Japanese joinery or Japanese carpentry, it is absolutely an amazing rabbit hole to go down. The way that they've discovered how to push wood within wood, so that way it expands and contracts together. It lasts the test of time. If you look at their temples or like timber frame housing, timber frame homes, like they last the test of time because that wood expands and contracts together. It's not, one end piece that's screwed together and it slowly just works itself apart over the years. So intro to joinery on this piece. And we didn't use a bunch of expensive power tools on this project. We utilized a jigsaw. We utilized a trim router that I realized I was calling a palm router in the video, so sorry about that. We utilized a handsaw and a chisel to clean up a couple of our mortises and maybe the tenons if you had to do that. So it didn't take very many tools at all. And a square and our measuring tape and writing utensil to mark out all of our lines. So this didn't take a bunch of expensive equipment to build this beautiful table that's super functional. It's mortise and tenon. You could probably use it as a stool. It's probably strong enough to use it as a stool. So yeah, I think that this is a great woodworking project. And you know, pocket holes are convenient. I've used pocket holes my fair share of projects, 100%. They're convenient, but for the same amount of time that it would take me to go and get my Craig jig, set the depths, get all that tightened down to my workbench, I could almost build a jig that I could use for my router in that same amount of time, and I know that it's going to potentially last longer than just screwing something together with pocket holes, in my opinion. So that's what we did. And the last little bit was utilizing a 15-degree bevel up on the top to subconsciously send our eyes from the countertop or the tabletop into the centerpiece, which is these legs. I think it turned out really, really good. And I think what I want to do with this is I want to create this into a series. So we built this one and we have our template that we can use to make more of these. I want to take the next one a step further and add a few more design aspects. And then I want to do the ultimate one, which will be the following video after that is just going to be, it's going to blow your mind. So I hope that you'll join me on those builds and you'll build them along with me. And we'll see if we can sell these things for profit or give them away, or I don't know what we're gonna do with them yet, but we'll figure that out later. So thanks for checking out Black Wood Decor's channel and our little debrief chit chat here. I'll see you on the next video.